The World Health Organization says a quarter of women in Senegal use skin lightening products regularly. The products can contain mercury or caustic agents like sodium hydroxide.
These dangerous ingredients can be disfiguring and even cause cancer. But as VOA's Ann Look told me, some women in the capital, Dakar, say the risks are simply the price of beauty. So, Ann, this skin lightening trend that you reported on out of Senegal, how common is this?
It's really common in Senegal and throughout the region, throughout the continent, really. For a while there, people didn't really understand the health impacts, what serious health consequences these creams, these soaps can pose. But that lately, for example, in Senegal, there's been a lot of public education. Women are starting to realize how dangerous these products are, but they continue to use them. And that's what I found so interesting for this story, was to kind of talk to women about why do they keep doing it.
Women in Senegal say they lighten their skin for the same reasons women the world over say they tweeze, squeeze, or otherwise alter their bodies in sometimes dangerous ways to achieve a certain standard of beauty, to catch a husband, to stand out in the crowd, to smooth out imperfections, to get ready for a special event.
The worst offenders, the women who really engage in some of the most dramatic skin lightening, are village women who come and move to the city and kind of want to look big city, want to look more successful, want to look more on trend, etc. And then the other thing is that it represents a certain level of success. These products are expensive.
A typical beauty supply shop in Dakar, complete with a selection of skin lightening creams and soaps.
This lotion, it is carrot-based. It will make you an amazing color.
Shop clerk Adama Jane says she uses a similar cream, and she tells clients to avoid the stronger ones that promise fast, dramatic results.
It is a personal choice. No one pressures me. Some women want to be black every day, but I prefer to be a shade of brown. It's better for me. I like it.
You mentioned some of these negative health effects that we've seen from these lightening creams. What are some of the dangers?
The creams are so strong. Something like hydroquinone, they're carcinogenic. They can cause cancer in and of themselves, but the chemicals in the products.
Women complain that products like this can sting their eyes or burn their skin. The harsh chemicals can weaken the tissue, leading to stretch marks and infections. But still, they don't stop. Senegalese filmmaker Hadiata Puisal was so troubled by the trend, in particular among prominent female public figures in the media, that last year she made her international award-winning documentary, This Color That Bothers Me. It aired nearly a dozen times on state television in Senegal.
I used the most shocking images so that women would know what they are exposing themselves to. Many of them know the dangers but don't think it will happen to them. It is hard to understand why a woman would tell herself that dark skin is not beautiful. It's in their heads. They want to please a man, to be loved, or they want to please society, to succeed.
One interesting thing that women told me is that in some ways it's an illusion, because a lot of these prominent women, you'll see politicians, singers, models that you see on television, in music videos, etc., that have this, it looks almost like ashen white skin. It's so just pale and kind of even, but that's makeup. And that when you see these women in person, and I've seen it myself in Dakar, their skin is actually very splotchy and dry, and it's not nearly what's being presented, for example, on television.
So, Ann, in going out and reporting on this issue, how willing were women to talk to you about this?
Women were terrified to go on camera talking about it, because I don't know if it's that they have perhaps internalized or realized that it's a bit taboo, or it's a bit dangerous, or it's bad for them, and they're kind of don't want to fess up to actually doing it. One woman did do an interview. She was a young woman, probably about my age, about 30, who her skin was very damaged and very pale. And we did the interview, and she called me almost in tears later and begged me not to use it, because she was so afraid that her fiance might see it. Women are still fairly conflicted about doing it, even if they do it.
All right, and again, that was Ann Look, who covers West Africa for VOA from Senegal. Now, Ann says women using these creams say they are not trying to become white, but instead just want their skin to be a lighter shade.